Hey world, how you doing? Today it will be a nice video blog, a special one, and I don't think I express my gratitude enough to a lot of people, just that are in my life. You viewers, you all rock, all four of you. But I'm just joking. I got yelled at last time I said that because they're like, there was more than four people watching, so I can't say that. So to all of you, thank you much for watching so far. If you've gotten to this and if you've gotten to this video, then you're pretty much a true David watcher guy thing. I don't know. So this video is actually the first video blog that I've actually written down or wrote down. But I thought I'd share it with you, the viewers. So I have the thing up, and I'm just gonna kind of read it off to you, if you don't mind. It's pretty interesting. I think you might enjoy it. Though I hope you enjoy it because that's why I'm posting it. I titled it "Shoes." And also, uh, to anyone that I know who may know the people I'm talking about, or who has, been a thorough influence in my life, do not be offended by this. Like, oh, he didn't mention us. He didn't make a video blog about us. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this was just an instance that I really thought was that it kind of touched me. Um, this is. And this is referring to yesterday. I had a potluck dinner that I went to for volunteer service at Fort Delaware. You really should go. It's a really cool place. And I volunteer out there, and there was a potluck dinner for volunteer appreciation. And this was as I was going to my friend's house, who works out there, who was driving to this driving, and he was going to. It says, yesterday was an important day in my life, I believe. It was it was a Friday, and on that day I went to school, and I walked to a neighborhood that I used to live in to go to my friend Kurt's house. Uh, Yesterday was an important day in my life, I believe. It was a Friday, and on that day I went to school and walked from school to a neighborhood that I used to live in to get to my friend Kurt's house. That house is where one of my closest friends introduced me to his brother and his mother, and I soon met his uncle and his grandmother, who everyone referred to as Nana. They were all living in this house when I met my friend, so this process of introductions did not take long. From that day that I first stepped into that house until today, I have always felt an overwhelming sense of acceptance. Even after my friend, his brother, and his mother had moved out of the house, and also through the years making a strong friendship with their uncle, which I have now referred to as my own uncle, and his loving grandmother, Nana. They've always accepted me and have given me good advice when I needed it, and told me what I should actually do, even when I thought what I was doing was right. But it was yesterday that I again felt their compassion and love once again, as if it were the warm, accepting hug from the person you love most. Because as I walked down the streets through the snow that was left on the ground from the large snowstorm we had the week earlier, my shoes and socks were getting wet, and by the time I had walked into Nana's house, my shoes were soaked. Kurt told me to take them off and put them by the door so that I could walk with him through the house and get some dry socks without making a mess. As we walked into the kitchen, I saw Nana for the first time in at least 3 months, and I'm sure you could tell by the look on my face that I had missed her. I gave her a Christmas present that I had got her that was very overdue since I had not seen her. She loved it. Although even if she hated the gift, I'm sure she would have put on a happy face just for my sake. I went with Kurt after making small talk with Nana about the current events, and got dry socks on my feet. As me and Kurt talked about the volunteer potluck dinner we were going to, Nana called for me to ask if I wanted her to put my shoes in the dryer so that they would not be wet when I had to put them on for dinner. I agreed, and we went upstairs to throw them in. But as we went up, she noticed that there was a huge hole in the back of them that separated the sole of the shoe from the fabric. She expressed concern about their condition, but I told her that they were fine and laughed it off. After we had turned on the dryer, she asked me if I was hungry and if I would like something warm to eat. I politely agreed, understanding the growling of my stomach and the heavenly quality of her cooking. After eating and cleaning up, I thanked her, gave her a kiss, and continued to the basement to continue my conversation with Kurt. we talked about the dinner and crap, and I had to go to the bathroom eventually. And as I was in there, Nana had called up to Kurt, and she says, "I do not want him walking around with shoes like that. Here's some money. Go to the store and buy him some shoes without any holes in them." After my trip to the bathroom, Kurt tells me to get my jacket on so that we can go out to the store and get some decent shoes. My heart got about 3 times larger, and I thoroughly expressed my love to Nana. We quickly went to the store and we got a pair of Converse Chuck Taylor low-top sneakers. They were fairly cheap and fit me well. During our trip, Kurt told me how Nana had hard times growing up because of all the responsibilities that she had on her. She grew up during the Great Depression and had gone without a lot of things, so that when she sees a child going without, she aims to fix it very quickly. Children should always come first. It was that moral that I wished to live with for the rest of my life. I will never forget the love that she showed that day, or any other day for that matter. And I can only hope that I can be as generous as she is. It is this situation alone that can be enough to drive me to become a successful person, so that one day I can repay her for what she has taught me. Thought you'd like that. Rock on, world.